There we go. I didn't do the countdown because I actually forgot to. I hit it late, so I figured we'd skip the whole preamble and just get right into it. We've been a couple weeks behind. Hang on, I got myself. Where the hell's my? Sorry, I have other tabs blowing up my ears. But hey, we're back. We've had a little bit of a hiatus. This past weekend, obviously, we had Easter, so we really couldn't do it Sunday, and then the weekend before. Well, I can say Lone Wolf, baby, right? So, guys, welcome back to the stream. Hopefully they missed us.
Hey, fellas. Yeah, busy couple weeks, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, let's just jump in. We have a lot to cover tonight. Let's touch on a little bit on where the show's at. We haven't had an episode in a while, and that's just because if you looked at what we put out the last few episodes, there have been Army reviews and big-ass episodes. And the Lone Wolf episode is not going to disappoint either. It's at around 3 hours of coverage that I think will be usable. So I'm fingers crossed I might have it out Wednesday. But so that's one. And if I don't get it out Wednesday, I will probably pull out the Dan King interview that we did, which is really fun, and just put that out, and then we'll put the rest of it out later. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, the Army reviews, they, as everyone knows, they take a big chunk of time, and then Rob and I were both at Lone Wolf, so that's time recording and everything, and then every now and then you want to do your own hobby, right? I love editing the shows, but sometimes it's like I gotta paint myself, otherwise I'm gonna fall behind. We have a lot of cool stuff planned, I know, coming out soon. So
well, we have an episode, believe it or not, with the Northern Kings when we're talking about building terrain. And then I know I've heard a little rumor that our good friend Mark Z has maybe picked up some lost footage.
Yeah, we have from the lost tome of the Zelensky Kuzian tome of lost episodes. We have Mark got some sound at Adepticon.
I was gonna say I have a good one for the upcoming painting challenge to come out just before.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, so we're gonna have some coverage from Adepticon. I know there's some stuff in the narrative workshop. We have rummaging are getting ready, and then I know I'm trying to think about what my next Army review is going to be. So definitely a lot.
Classic. He's going to bring it up, Steve. Yeah. It'll happen someday.
I feel like every time someone asks, I just put it off for another month / year.
Well, guys, before we get into we have a lot to cover tonight. Let's jump in. Let's talk hobby. Jeremy, you've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, so tons of stuff. Whenever went to Lone Wolf, totally re-energizing. I took the Basileans as a leg on their farewell tour as I'm getting ready for Twilight Kin. So I finished a regiment of butchers. I'm working on my neophytes. I am working on Lathael. I have my second regiment of butchers in the works. I'm sort of like, it's all got to get done. So I'm of the philosophy of whatever I feel like doing, I'm doing. So if I paint one thing for an hour or two, instead of slogging through that, if I start to lose steam, I just switch right away and I just start working on bases.
That's awesome.
Or if I get tired on bases, I go to my gargoyles. Or I'm tired of gargoyles, because it's all got to get done. And I think it's better for me if I'm getting 5 or 6 hours, getting the raw amount of time in, than trying to paint flesh on everything.
Just paint whatever you're invested in, whatever it is. I'm the
it
same
all
way.
has to get done by the end of it. So just work on whatever you tickles your fancy.
Right? Always be painting. That's my new philosophy. Just always be painting. Glazed medium is for closers. So I'm just trying to tell myself to just.
Jeremy, you want to touch on? Jefferson's
what am I
about
using
what models
for
using
your
Twilight Kin?
Twilight Kin. So I have a stuff from. I have some of the some 3D printed stuff. Yeah, some 3D printed stuff. My theme is like a snake Greek fantasy theme. So I have some of the Daughters of Cain, Age of Sigmar. I have some Amazons are my Glade Stalkers, kind of like fantasy looking Amazons. I have just so it's kind of like a little bit of everything, but I would say its core is the Daughters of Cain, Age of Sigmar line of that Snake Medusa esque thing. I have some Mersha snake some Mersha Greek Snake Warriors for my Dread Fiends, Soul Banes on Dread Fiends. So a little bit of everything from that, but it's coming along really good. I'm happy so far with the paint scheme. Now it's just going to be, can I get it done for Masters? I'm going to be taking as Rob likes to give me a hassle for, sucking on that government teat vacation in July, a staycation wellness. So I'll have like 3 or 4 weeks off to just paint. And then in the meantime, I'm just continuing to get games in on UB. Alex and I have talked about playing. I'm trying to actually get some serious practice games in. So going to Masters, I've actually have experience. So I'm already beginning to see what the list does well and what it struggles with.
Yeah, we're going to have a sweet Jeremy training montage video for before Masters.
You're the best around. No one's ever going to beat you. Yeah.
And a bunch of West people have a bunch of crazy stuff planned for Masters. I know Britain's working on a top secret project. And we get to drive to Masters this year, which means like full display board wankery.
Lucky sons of.
That's gonna be an awesome road trip.
I have been having like recurring nightmares looking at the plane tickets prices.
I was like, I had to drop from Kings of Memphis for that very same reason. I was like, okay, let's start looking at it, and it was like it's gonna cost us $1,800 to fly to Memphis. Oh, I love you, Rob, but that's a lot of dough. So,
that's a lot of love.
Yeah.
Well, what do you been working on, Alex?
So we had a 1-day tournament the same weekend as Lone Wolf, and as everyone can probably tell, my League of Rortia is well behind schedule, so I wasn't going to get it done in time, and we had some new players, and I just wanted to have a fully painted army, so I decided to take out my rats, but I didn't want to just take out the same old rats. So Joey, Greek, and I have been talking a lot about the formation and nightmares. So I had my resin dealer whip me up some nightmares, and I painted them up with some lightning cannons, so I could run the new formation.
Is that the redeploy formation?
Yeah, so you get to redeploy the shredders and the death engine, and then since it has an aura, Iron Resolve aura for tech units, I decided to add some nightmares since they're tech units. So here they are. Yeah, those are Archvillain STLs, if anyone's interested in. And I found the lightning cannons are actually STLs off Thingiverse, because finding the old metal lightning cannons these days is really difficult.
Awesome. So are those guys like heavy crossbows, basically?
Yeah, it's not the best because they're 12-inch range steady aim, but I wanted rats with shooting stuff. So
no, that's cool. I think they look neat.
And they're Def 5, so these guys have plate armor, which kind of matches my shock troops. So I was like, I can do this. I can paint rats really quickly. So I think I did these in about 5 days.
So Chris Cox wants to know: are those actual rocks on your base?
They are. It's a slate tile. I bought a 2x1 foot slate tile about 3 years ago, that I've been smashing up periodically to make basing for my rat army. So
I like it.
I have about 6,000 points of rats based up with slate. But yeah, I was like, wanted to mix it up with the rat list. So it's more of a shooting heavy, double nightmares formation.
Do you have claw shot troops in there?
No, I swapped the shredders in for claw shot. So all the shooting was these guys. So the 2 nightmares, the death engine spewer, and the shredders, and then Scud and Mother Kryza for lightning bolt. And it works.
Can't go wrong with Scud, can you? That guy's.
I love that guy so much. I use him pretty recklessly, but he died on like turn 2 a couple times in one game, but it served a purpose. So yeah, that went really well actually. So it was nice to get paint again. This is the aftermath. I went 3-0 for the week.
At your own tournament.
Well, I didn't run it. This one, John McCready was the TO for this one. He offered to TO this one because I had been TOing the last like 7.
That's awesome.
So I got a chance to play without being the ringer.
Well, so that's awesome, fun. Man. Congrats.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we're trying to like make fun, like 3D printed trophies for all our 1 days, just to kind of, because prize support, getting store credit and stuff is fun, but I think having a little fun trophy.
Give me the bling, baby. Yeah,
it's all about something to put on the shelf, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's good. It's got me back painting again. So now I'm all right. Before I did these, I had assembled a horde of knights because I was just putting off working on my honor guard. So I have a whole bunch of stuff for my Rhodia assembled now. So I just need to get back to the painting table now that
Isn't that funny how events can always just like energy? They have the ability to just turn your button on or off. You know, if you have a bad experience, you're like, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore. You have a good experience, you're like all ready to go. It's funny.
Exactly. No, and then I can't remember. I'll try to, I think we found it on Thingiverse actually, but we tried
is it suspended by the blood?
The blood is actually like the pillar
holding. Oh, dude, that's
awesome.
That's badass.
Yeah, again, Eamon printed it. John painted it. John McCready painted it. So
I love it.
Yeah.
So I have been painting as well. Not Kings of War. I don't know. We were just talking about that, right, Jeremy? Like sometimes you're just like, what do I have laying around? Let's get to it. So I have been painting. Nice. Well, I have painted an Army of the Dead for Middle Earth strategy battle game. So
very cool.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice palette cleanser. The painting itself doesn't take very long, right? It's just like
now is that with the Nilix oxide paint?
Yeah, actually it's not. It's actually you spray them white, or I guess in my case maybe a slight off white. And then it was just there's actually called like a Hex Wraith Flame technical wash. And then you dry brush it with Ulthuan Gray or Ulthuan White. I don't know, whichever. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it. And a few, there's some, extra like Corellia, I don't know, green wash in there just to give it a little bit more pop. But
I love that ghost look. It's like not too hard.
Yeah, it was simple.
Right, it looks good.
And as I was saying offline, they're not a bad army either, so it doesn't hurt that I picked a cheesy army to play. That
paints up fast, wins easily,
and kill stuff too. Yeah. So, and then other things I've been working on. Let's see if I can bring this in here. What? Let's see if I can bring me in here. Doop. There we go. So talking about left field. Here's my Orc Mega Bomber for Imperial Aeronauticus or Aeronautic, whatever.
That's huge. I didn't realize the game was that, like, the scale was that large.
Well, this is the largest plane they make in the game.
It's
a Forge World model, so it's ginormous. Yeah, look, it's the size of a bat, right? A small bat. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not from Matt's area, but from down here. But yeah,
they probably have bats that can take a child.
You're absolutely right. So yeah, so I've been just knocking that stuff out as well. It's been fun. But man, we have a lot to chat about. We got this giant thing coming up, right? This army challenge, and I think we should probably, dive in. So, Jeremy, while I'm bringing up the rules for the challenge, why don't you touch on the army? What army did you pick? Why'd you pick it?
Sure. Yeah, so we thought it would be fun to do an all army Mantic challenge. I know I've been wanting to have a Mantic army, not only to have one to support the company and have it, but also have a Mantic army for the events that have a prize or something special for bringing a Mantic army. Just I wanted to have it in the repertoire, and I know I was never going to do it, so I was like, why don't let's do a challenge? And then I think we were all excited to do it. So I have Undead, I have Base Aliens, and I have Twilight Kin. Twilight Kin is more combined arms, but they're all leaning towards either speed or fragile combined arms. So I was thinking I wanted something with like a bunch of hordes. And I was thinking, well, I know they're doing the Empire of Dust refresh this summer. I've always loved that theme. I studied Middle Egyptian in graduate school, and I just have always loved that language and that culture. So I was like, let me do Empire of Dust. And I don't quite know yet 100% what I'm going to have in the army because I don't know what's going to be coming in the refresh, but I think it's going to be like heavy skeletons. So I'm going to have like the special character that has the bonus for casting on skeletons. And it's just going to be 2 or 3 hordes of spearmen, some enslaved guardians, and just like a more grindy style list. So that's sort of what I've decided to do is pick a range that's newer. I think their newer models are cooler, and then pick a play style that's like a little different. Mm-hmm. What about you, Rob? What are you thinking army wise?
I am bringing salamanders. We went around. Should I bring Should I do Night Stalker? Should I do Goblin? Should I? And I just at the end of the day just said, you know what? I want to paint salamanders, so that's what we're gonna do. And actually, I should probably, if I'm a little smarter, I'd actually bring up my list here. Let's see if we can do that. Share. So this is a list that Andrew Atkins and I kind of brainstormed coming on the way back from Lone Wolf, and I think it's, it's interesting. I'll say that. I think it's going to be. Let's see here. Hopefully, you guys can see this. All right, let's move up here. All right, can everybody see that? So this is 2,300 points, and what I've decided to do from the first go is, and it may change, but a lot of doubles up of a lot of different things. Now, what is interesting, looking back, I had this epiphany today. It's a salamander list with no salamanders, so I don't know if it's really a salamander list, right? But I have the ancients, right, and they're there for the inspiring and then offense 6, and then I got two hordes of tyrants, two hordes of scorched wings, two hordes of right. You get the thing, right? Double. 4 regiments of ember sprites, and that's the one model they don't make. So I have purchased from Puppets War out in wherever they are in Europe. They have these little like characterful flame guys. They kind of look cool. So they're the little tiny guys. Mm-hmm. And so I bought some of them, and they'll be on their way. And then the Phoenix and a Mage Priest. So 2,300 points. It's probably not a very effective army, but I kind of want to paint a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. The Phoenix is great. That's one of my favorite Mantic monsters. So that's like a good,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's like a good one to.
And I really like the Tyrants. Tyrants are the new Tyrant minis are awesome.
They are. I've got one more box to buy. So I will say they are expensive, but I think for what you're getting, they're not overpriced, right? Like they're big, chunky, heavy models, and if anywhere else you're buying resin models of that size, you're probably paying around that price.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see. I've got pretty much all the models bought. Got one more box of Tyrants to buy, and I'm gonna buy the Scorchwing still. I haven't purchased those yet, but I had bought the Rhinosaur Cavalry before the price increase. I was like, I better buy them. So I snapped up 4 boxes because I was like, I just like the models a lot.
Yeah.
So Bill's saying, oh, he's playing Salamanders too. Can't wait to see some picks, man. My daughter started to build a list. And this is a better way to say it, right? They are pricey, but they're not unfair, right? They're not ripping you off for as much resin. I mean, those rhinosaurs are ginormous, right? And say what you want, there's a lot of resin there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the list. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Alex, what about you? What are you planning on?
Well, I've had an Orc Mega Army for a little while now, a couple years maybe, since I think the beginning of the pandemic, and then I just recently picked up just a normal army box because like Jeremy's saying, like it's just good to have an all Mantic army, and just for around here, this scene's growing, and for demos games, I want to have a Mantic army for demo games. So but opposite of Jeremy, I'm kind of picking something that I already do. So it's just the other army that can do rally. Because right now I have Ratkin and League of Rordia, which are kind of defined by their rallying. And now going Orcs. So War Drums. War Drums. Yeah. So
regular Orcs though. Regular Orcs, not
regular. For now it's just gonna be regular Orcs. I might do something, where if I can come up with good Hellstriker ideas. But right now I have just a lot of Orcs with some Trolls. I think I have 2 really cool monstrous troll like Mersha giants, which I might mix into it just as like centerpiece models, but it's going to be a lot of just Great Axe, Morax, Gore Riders, stuff like that. I just want to get things painted up to a pretty decent tabletop standard, and just so I can have a good demo army that looks impressive. Kind of like hordes of Orcs always looks cool on the table.
Yeah, well, talking about hordes, it's
it's probably not the best idea for a painting challenge for someone like me.
Yeah,
but
this
I do.
Blake Schroed with his. So for those who know, Blake runs the big game at Adepticon and other events. So he literally has 70, 80,000 points of Mantic stuff. And yeah, can't wait to see it. It's gonna look cool having all those goblins on the table.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. That's a huge amount.
It's a huge amount. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you got your list out. Did you want to?
Yeah. So this is like my basic. This is sort of what I like the 2x2x2 list.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the same thing. It's so funny how like I'm always building in like it's so weird for me to just have one of something. I don't know what it is. It's like my wargaming brain can't
gotta have two.
it.
One gets killed, you need a backup.
If it's good enough to take one of, take two, right?
Yeah. So I have the two hordes of skeleton spearmen as sort of the center. I like it. 30 attacks phalanx. I think 175 for dash 22 is pretty cheap. 2 desert swarms. I'm not sure what I would use for this based on Mantic. But I think I'd maybe look through some dead zone, or I think I could maybe find something that would be cool there. 2 enslaved guardian hordes of the melee guys, 2 of the archers, and then soul snare, Revenant King on undead great flying worm. This is a piece I'm not sure. I'm kind of waiting to see. I have no idea what Mantic's going to come out with. So this sort of monster slot might be changed. The same thing with Idol Shobik. And then I want to take the Sebek Ray, who's the guy who gives for each friendly core skeleton unit within 6 inches, you can reroll 1 failed dice to hit with heal and surge, up to a maximum of 2. So basically, with the 2 hordes of spearmen, he'll always have the maximum spell buff. So that's sort of the initial. I love the enslaved guardians. I'm curious to see if they do a refresh with them. Mm-hmm. It's got some skeletons. It's got maybe a couple monsters.
I know they're scaling the enslaved guardians up, right? Is that the
maybe resin is what maybe
moving to resin and making them bigger,
and resin. And I like the design of them before, but they were just on the small side. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like what I'm thinking. Model wise, it gives me some big hordes, a little bit of shooting, some big monsters. I never really play with non-flying monsters, so I may take the flying dragon and put like a bone giant, couple bone giants in. I've never really played with giants before, only dragons with fly. So looking to try to get some different play styles in there.
For sure.
Yeah. I always think Empire of Dust is always one of those armies where, like, when I play against it, it gives me a hard time. But like when I put together a list or try to like theory hammer it, it's just one of those ones where my brain is. I'm not 100%. On paper, they never look that bad.
Yeah.
But on the table, it's always like
in the hands of a good general, you're like, "Whoa, yeah. I'm losing. Yeah. How did this happen?" Exactly. So,
well, awesome. I think next up, I had a person on Discord reach out to me and said, "Hey, I want a Northern Alliance army, and I bought a bunch of models. Here's what I have. Can you build me a starter army?" And I figure the collective wisdom, which is the internet, why not throw it to them? So it's probably hard for you guys to read, so I'll just read what he says. He's got the mega army box.
Okay.
He's got the shadows in the north, which is the half that's the basically clansmen.
Yeah. And I think
he's got 2 dwarf clansmen regiments, ice elemental regiments, 4 frost naiad regiments, frost fang cavalry regiments, and he was thinking. He mentioned he wanted to run some Thunderwolves. He hasn't bought those yet, but he'd like to run some Thunderwolves. Okay. So let's let that simmer a little bit. And for those of you guys that are,
what's in the mega army box? Let me look this up.
Let's look that up. It's a good point,
Mantic
right?
Games.
First things first, that Frostfang Cavalry Regiment is a perfect triple Frostfang Lord setup for you.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, dude, he's just going right for it, Rob.
He just like
let me mainline the juice. I got to mainline the juice. Just go straight for the triple Frostfang Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna play Northern Alliance, right?
I think you have to. I mean, you don't want to. You don't want to take a
make one a Thane. Make one a Thane if you really want, but that's why you're playing
Northern Alliance. I think too, because in the regiment size, the Frostfang Horde, if you are going to take it, take it in a horde. So I think that is a really good idea. Break those up.
Even if you want to just buy another regiment, that'll give you 6. You put 4 on the horde base, and then you have 2 lords. I think that's probably a good way to approach it as well.
See, I'm a fan of snow trolls. I think snow trolls are kind of
They are
under.
great.
They are
And
good.
the mega army comes with 9 and
And the dude,
prime.
right?
So
And the
that's
prime.
2 regiments or 2 hordes of snow trolls.
That comes with 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. The mega
So you
army.
could probably get 2 hordes out of that, right?
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I would
2.
start with 2 hordes of snow trolls and the guy with the Thalinar's banner.
Yes.
That gives them rally.
All right.
Yeah. The Thane who does the rally banner.
So what,
Yeah,
how many points
then
we're building 2,300. What are we building here?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2,300 is good.
All right, so let's do this.
Yeah, 2 hordes, and that gives you another Frostfang character. So you could do the horde with all 4.
So what are we talking about? 2 hordes of trolls.
Yeah,
2
2
hordes
hordes
of
of snow trolls.
You can see I don't build snow trolls.
Yeah. So 2
I
hordes
will
of-
go ahead and recommend that you use your clansmen to make Huskarls, and then
Let's finish this
pack
battle
hunters.
group. So go down to the Thane.
Yeah.
The just the regular Thane.
Yeah.
Not on Frostfang. Just regular
Not
Thane.
on Frostfang, and give him Talinar standard.
Yes.
Okay.
So he'll run with the trolls, and so then that means the trolls will be 16-19.
That's
So
pretty good. We
defense
did
5
5
regen.
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
give one of them Staying Stone and one of them Dwarven Ale too.
Mm-hmm. Do a little waiver mitigation items. I like that on my large infantry.
Was there when you said Standing
Dwarven-
Stone was
Dwarven
Ale for
Yeah.
inspiring? Where the hell is that? All right, down here. Okay. All right. Let's see what anybody in the audience out there. Are they out there? Oops. What am I doing here?
Luke prefers Chalice to Ale.
Oh, I mean Wrath, right? That's Wrath. I mean Fury.
Yeah,
I
Fury.
think it's like tomatoes. You know what I mean?
Always do Staying Stone first, but then the other ones are.
If you're if you're in a meta that you're facing a lot of people who shoot, Dwarven Ale is better because you can steady off a shooting waiver.
Yeah.
But if you're not facing any shooting, then the Fury item's probably better.
Yeah, with the wide waiver gap, that shooting waiver is much more. I feel is a bit more of a threat.
Sorry.
Possible.
What? All right, hang on. So we got some. We do got some comments. Let's see what we got going on down here. Facebook. I'm looking at YouTube. So, let me jump back to Facebook here.
Yeah, you can add a couple of dwarf regiments. He has them. They're actually pretty cheap unit strength.
Yeah, I'm a fan of those too. The Dwarf Clansmen. What did he say he had of those?
I think you get 2 regiments.
Okay. I think that's good for unlocks, and then he would be pretty good set with unlocks at that point.
Yep.
If you just add 2 Dwarf Clansmen regiments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then I would. You have a lot of clansmen, human clansmen, which is not really the best unit. But like I said, the normal ones are quite large, and they will fill a heavy infantry base. So you could make them into Huskarls, and then make the remainder into pack hunters, which are actually.
And what he said, he had 2 regiments of the dwarves.
Yeah. They're at the top.
So Luke asked a good question. Who are we building this for? We're building this for a new player. So keep that in mind. Like if it is a point and click army, like push forward to hit stuff, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? You don't
want it to be too.
You don't want it to be
nuanced.
finessed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
that's
with
why-
all those clansmen, you should be able to get 2 troops or 2 regiments of snow foxes. We just put them in because you're going to use them.
2
no matter
troops, 2 regiments.
Yeah.
And then add the Dwarf Clansmen regiments.
Yeah.
All right, dwarf clans and regiments.
They're at the top.
Yeah, right here. Regiments
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, 2 regiments. Defense 5 for 115 points. You
Those
can't.
guys have fury too, so it's
Yeah.
nice.
We'll definitely remind him, Bill. You definitely need to build the snow foxes.
Yeah.
Off those clans and shrews. What else do we need? So we're at like 915 points because we got a long way to
Frostfang
go.
Lords. We got to put some of the Frostfang Lords.
We need
in
3 of
now,
them?
too.
Or you can just at least do 2.
Yeah, let's start with 2. I think that's a good idea.
With the snow fox, of course, right?
With this, exactly.
Always take the snow fox.
Always take the snow fox.
I like giving 1 meat of madness just so that he's charge 16. And then you can do blade of slashing.
Blade of slashing on the other one, I think, is a good item for that sort of character.
Yeah.
All right.
And blade of slashing.
All right.
I think he said he had. I don't mind having. Did he say he had any ice elementals?
He had
does
one
have
regiment.
he has one regiment.
Oh, just a regiment.
Yeah, I feel like with ice elementals, you should take 2 hordes or more, but less than that is not great.
He's
So I'm
also
trying to.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just like trying to think of. I like the heal from the Ice Queen, but if you're not taking any ice elementals, I don't know if it's worth taking her or not.
Local player Luke, he's not on any of our countercharge stuff, so you wouldn't have met him. His name is Skylar.
What else is in that box?
So don't forget, he also said he has an affinity for Thunder Wolves. So I don't know if Thunder Wolves will work on this list or not, but we probably
You
could
do a regiment with like boots is kind of fun because then it's Thunder 1 and Strider. They're fast and nimble.
Oh, J boots you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're fine. They're a little bit more. I would say they're a little bit more skill capped unit, just because. Defense 4, 13, 15 is like super fragile.
It is. The thing is, when you have snow foxes are much better chaff than Tundra Wolves.
I probably would err away from Tundra because he said he hadn't bought them yet. He was thinking about it.
So you guys think I would say no for now?
I would say no. I mean, I don't know what Alex thinks, but I would probably pass on Tundra Wolves when you're just starting the army.
That's probably a good point. They're not easy to use. Easy to get value from.
He also said he had ice naiads, and I don't know what else is in the mega army that we didn't.
So you get 10 of the shooty elves and 10 of the close combat elves.
Yeah,
and so Icekin hunters,
and then 10 naiads.
So the Icekin hunters could be good.
I do like Icekin hunters quite a bit. I like if you a troop. I would I think you're limited right now with the.
Does he only have 10? What else does he have? He has the mega army.
Let's bring it up.
Let's bring up what is he?
Because if you can take 2 regiments, I think
that's the sweet spot.
You're getting
it. So he's got the mega army, shadows in the north half, 2 dwarf clansman regiments, ice elemental regiment, frost naiad regiment, frost frame cavalry regiment.
Yeah.
So there you go. So we haven't used.
I'm gonna look in the shadows of the north because he has.
That's just gonna be all clansmen and then
it's like clansmen and trolls. I think.
Got it.
Yeah, I think if you
that reminds me, he definitely has enough for the trolls because he's got the extra 3 from the starter, the 2-player starter.
I think some pack hunter, like if you want to like get a little bit of shooting, the pack hunters with the steady aim upgrade.
Or Jefferson J makes a good point since he does have 10 and 10 shooty, 10 melee. He could do 2 troops, and mix them together.
Hunters, or what were you thinking?
Yeah. Or if he has 10 and 10. You could even do 10 regiments. You would just need to get 1 or 2 extra models. To add that to them.
Mm-hmm. And just to give us we're at 18 unit strength and 11 drops, so we're getting there. We still have a good 700 points to go.
Yeah, well, I think you got the 2 Frostfang Lords. The Snow Troll Prime is is good too. It's a little cheaper.
So I mean, we have 3 Frostfangs, right?
We do.
We have 4 because we have the character from the Mega Army.
Well, let's just add. I think we take 3 Frostfang Lords. I think you got to do it.
Just do it, right?
Just do it.
Yeah. Just do it.
Give that one like the Mace of Crushing or something,
Or Luke mentioned, I agree with Pipes of
Terror.
Yeah, that's good.
I like brutal on that guy.
Brutal on stuff you're going to add in is nice. So where are we at now, points wise?
1810.
Okay, nice.
Still got 490, right?
Okay.
So
I think add Huskarl regiment.
Yeah. Just use your clansmen as Huskarls. Just say when you're deploying them that I think because Mantic doesn't make Huskarls, so I think it's perfectly acceptable to use.
If they're really hard, I think they're only.
They are. Are they only in the Mega Army?
I think they're only in the Vanguard pack or something. It's really
I didn't think
hard to get them.
That's what I thought. I mean, sorry.
Mega Army? Are we sure?
No.
Okay.
So just make sure you base them on heavy infantry bases.
Yeah, put them on the right size.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he only has 10 ice naiads, so he can't make a horde right now.
Yeah, and I think if you want to take naiads,
what's in the is there some ice naiads in the one of the boxes, the army?
Just in the Mega Army.
Well, he's got a regiment of ice naiads.
Oh, he's a regiment
plus whatever's in the Mega Army.
Oh, okay.
right? If
Okay,
there's 10 in the
maybe I
Mega Army,
misread what if he has. Okay, so
Yeah,
in
so
the
you've
Mega
got-
Army,
Mega Army box, and then in addition, Frost Naiad Regiment. Oh wait,
Yeah. So
Frost Naiad Regiment. So he must have bought a whole regiment. So he's got 30 models in, right?
yeah, so
so
he
then
could
he
do
could
a
do a
horde.
horde. Put a
Yeah.
horde of ice naiads in there.
Yeah, that's a good solid.
What? I mean, you gotta give him. What are we giving him? Are we giving him? He was on fours. What are we giving him?
I don't know. Our brew of strength is nice on that unit too. Or you could go points wise 230, 235. Yeah, let's put brew of strength on there. Then I like that. It makes them actually be able to punch back a little bit.
The trolls have staying stone, Luke. Pay attention.
Oh, and that's
so
actually gonna be
just add them without the item and let's see how many points we have.
All right, so
Oh no, there we go.
Oh, I
need
did
to
drop.
5
They are
points.
in there. Oh, I must have hit it twice. Yeah, so there's there. Let's just see what we got here. All right, so we got 3 Frost Fangs. We have a Thane with the banner, 2 hordes of snow trolls, 2 regiments of snow foxes, 2 troops of Ice Kid Hunters, regiment of Huskarls. Do the Huskarls need something? Oh, we're actually we're actually 5 points over.
So
Yeah,
drop brew of strength off the Naiads, and then give the Huskarls like elite.
Yeah, I think that's good. And then give them blessing of the gods.
Yeah.
$15 points. That, you know what that means? That's a haste. No, wait, haste is 20 now. 15 is Meat of Madness, and what's another good one?
But Mead's already on one of the.
All
so
right.
Luke mentioned you could give Fury to the Snow Trolls, the Staying Stone, and then move Staying Stone to the Ice Naiads. So, or just give Fury to the
You could
Ice
do that
Naiads.
too?
Or just or just if you give Fury to the Ice Naiads, that means like everything on the main line is like has waiver mitigation because the Huskarls and Dwarves have Fury as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty robust line.
So what was
and then
what do we put on the other unit of Snow Trolls?
Chalice of Wrath, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we at? Ooh, 2,300.
There
So let's review where we're at.
Okay.
So we've got 2 regiments of clansmen. We got a horde of Ice Naiads with the Staying Stone. We got Huskarls with Blessing of the Gods. 2 Ice Kid Hunters. Snow Foxes, 2 regiments. 2 hordes of Snow Trolls. 1 with Chalice of Wrath, 1 with Dwarven Nail. We got the Thane with the banner. Does he have a model for that? Does that come?
Yeah, there's a Thane or Lord model in in the army box in the normal
on foot.
box.
Okay.
Yeah, on foot.
And then we got the 3 Frostfang guys. So just looking back at, let's just see what. So he's got a lot more than points in this, but I think this would be a good starter army. But I mean, he still has. You know, he needs to. I mean, if he's got a box of ice elementals, he probably needs another box to do a horde.
More Icekin Hunters is definitely a good avenue of expansion.
Yeah,
I've been using 3 regiments in my Northern Alliance, and I quite like it.
Yeah,
they're very good. But I mean, he's got some meaty stuff. He's got some stuff that can hit. The Frostfang Lords are just so. It's like mayors of Value Town.
Yeah,
so,
they are.
But just put them in anything, and they're going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think this would be a legitimate list to start with. I think.
Yeah, it's got 14 units, like 25 unit strength, so it's going to play a lot of scenarios well.
And you have a little bit of shooting, you have a little bit of regen, you have a little speed, you have a little ensnare, you have a little bit of all the different, some of the different rules too. So I think as a learning army, you're going to learn.
I think all the fury is going to be kind of forgiving as well for a learning army.
Yeah.
So he brought up another good point. I think this is probably Alan or somebody from Facebook, but show it here. He's saying that if he has a box of elementals, there's 3 in one of in the mega army, right? So he actually already has
in
6.
in the normal army. Yeah. So if he has 6, yeah. And Lazy Pirate says Frost Giant or Cavern Dweller. Cavern Dwellers are incredible. They are high value.
And if you're going to go ice elementals, I think you go 2 hordes and an ice queen, which is not a small amount of points. No. So I think if he was going to add in ice elementals, it would be like build 1B. You know, it would be a little different. It would be different army than this.
You could swap out the Snow Trolls for 2 hordes of ice elementals, and then put the queen in. Ice queen in.
Swapping out the trolls, which would make sense.
And then obviously if you get Harim in there, that'd be great.
That too, it's still one of my favorite Mantic minis. That Frost Giant is
mini.
incredible.
I like how you said mini.
Yeah, 8-inch, action figure.
Yeah. Straight out of the 70s, man.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. That was fun. I
Yeah.
will deliver this, and we'll probably get him on the show. Maybe we can get him on our live stream. We'll run him through, teach him how to play it.
Yeah.
This will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's a solid list to start with for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, what else we got on our? I guess maybe let's circle back and let's talk about this challenge that we've got. So we're doing 2,300 points, right? No, we're doing 20 or 2,100.
2,300.
21, right? Because it's 7 months, 300 a month, right?
Okay.
Got it. So, yeah, I probably should just bring it up, but we'll try it. We'll just try it. But starting in May, we'll have an official post like this is the entry, and what we want you to do is just tell us what you're going to build, and we'll have some questions. What army you're going to play? Why are you choosing it? The model range thing is we're looking for Mantic models, but obviously there's some armies that don't have Mantic models. Some units. So like my Ember Sprites. So if you got to fill some holes in, we'd be curious to hear what you're thinking about to fill those holes in as well.
And then also just try, like Jeremy was saying, like try to fill the holes with Mantic minis. Like
for
try
sure.
to like go to Dead Zone, go to Warpath, some
so
of the
let
Dungeon
me ask
Saga
you this.
stuff.
I thought about it and I was like, could I use flame elementals?
You know what I would do, Rob? What you could do
Sprites?
for that? You
Yeah,
could
go
take all the imps from the flame bearer sprues. The lower abyssal flame bearers has all those little tiny imps.
Yep.
You could use those as Ember Sprites.
Are there
These
not
are all-
anything on the Salamander sprues? Do they not have extra things? But I see you don't have any salamanders in your army, but
I have lots of salamanders, though. Yeah, I own a lot of salamanders.
Yeah, anyone out there with salamander sprues, can they tell us if they have Ember Sprites on the sprue, like they do like snow foxes and stuff like that?
That would be a good question to ask.
I'm gonna look up at Mantic Games right now. Look, they usually sell the sprue separately, direct, and they usually get a good.
Usually those swarm things are on the infantry sprue.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if there's something in there for that to use. I mean, like I said, I bought the Puppet War stuff, but I'm happy to use more. I'm happy to get 100% Mantic army if I can do that.
Yeah, I feel like Pat Allen used those as his Ember Sprites. Someone on.
Oh, here we go. Forces of Nature frame. Let's see what it says.
Jefferson says, "Cut the heads off of salamanders and just make floating heads."
Oh yes, the little like
Ghost Rider heads.
You could talk to Cowie and get some of those Westphalia kobolds.
I have some. I have them. Come on, man.
I was gonna say you must have.
I have them. There's not much I don't have, and unfortunately,
I was like, how many do you have?
Shame.
You probably have enough for 4 regiments.
Yes.
I'm all for. I think the goal is like swap out models, but I think at the end is the what is it now? Pretty much the standard for Mantic stuff is 90% Mantic. So I think that's like the goal. Is to try to have.
Yeah, if you have like a feature model that you want to include in the army that isn't Mantic, that's cool. But like,
that's fine.
Try to make it
whenever possible. That's what we're going.
So here's an idea someone mentioned down the top of the. Yeah, okay, I see it. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Let me share this. Share screen.
Oh, who is this Facebook user that gave this wonderful tip?
Look at this though, right here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Accept it. I'll zoom in as best I can. Oh, yes. But right here, there's like a large flame on. Oh, geez, I can't.
Can you remove the chat?
Yep, thank you. So right here, there's a large flame coming off the top of the banner.
Okay.
So that might work.
Is that row above the banner? Are those little flames as well?
I don't know if that or they go on the backs of the on the salamander backs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm all for having to buy multiple salamander kits just to cut the banner off.
Yeah. I will tell you.
That's my jam, man.
I will tell you right now. I probably have 40 of these sprues or 50 of these sprues because this was an army that I backed in the first Kickstarter for second edition. I have salamanders coming on my butt, which is unfortunate since I don't have any in my list.
It sounds uncomfortable.
I remember when I hit
it's very hot.
When you hit the adult hobby where you're like, I'm buying this kit because I want this one head.
Yes.
Clip Bits
Yeah,
box. The rest
I will
of the
say
game
it's a
goes in
little
Bits
easier
box.
with Mantic than it is with GW. I
Yeah,
remember,
give
you're
myself
like, I need
free.
these lions, and then I remember.
Oh
Gibby
man, that
like,
was not cheap. That was
no,
that
you
was
did the
not-
same thing, right? Yeah.
Because there's only 2 lions per chariot box,
This
so it's 3 boxes for 2 troops of Gur
this
Panthers.
anonymous user wants you to DM them because he has lots
Yes.
of.
Let me see. That's probably.
Ooh, you're getting slip into the DMs, Rob.
That's it. Let's see who we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, you can actually.
If you just allow.
Oh, Jay. All right, Jay. I'll text you. Yeah.
Oh, Jay Rosado. Okay. Yeah, Jay. Just I know you're not very tech savvy, but just just allow StreamYard to see you.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm excited about this. And here's the thing that really made me excited when I woke up this morning and I saw that Ronnie Renton's going to join us.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm like,
Cool.
that's very cool.
Is he building another dwarf army?
He didn't say, but I've known the man for 10 years, however long, 10 years, and he only plays dwarves.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think he would play Abyssal dwarves. So I assume it's got to be another dwarf army of some sort. Maybe we should have him do. He should build like a Mantic dwarf army using only the Vanguard stuff.
Oh, that'd be. They're some of my favorite Mantic minis.
Yeah.
The Vanguard dwarves are incredible.
Yeah. If there isn't a way to be like, play Ronnie with all these Autumn Mantic models that are impossible to buy easily. That's the army that you have to build.
But anybody can get them.
Northern Alliance army of only Huskarls and Snow Foxes.
Yeah, he'll have 29 regiments of Snow Foxes or hordes or whatever.
Yeah.
Just an army full of Snow Foxes.
Berserkers and Brocks. That would be awesome too. And I would believe him to play an army like that.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of Berserkers.
Who isn't?
Right?
Love.
I mean,
Yeah. Actually, there's a new guy who wants to play dwarves, but he only wants to do like Iron Guard and guns. And I'm like, you do you, bro.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Everyone has their. That's the best thing about. Like, there's been a lot of talk about dwarves on the groups lately because a lot of people. It seems like in the dwarf group and Fanatics,
there was a lot of dwarf armies at Lone Wolf this year.
and
so I think the buzz is they're getting a little heat. As they say.
I think.
Wait, what were we talking about? I was not listening.
Dwarf armies.
Dwarf armies. There's a lot of talk.
Dwarves
A lot of
in
people talking about dwarves lately. I think.
Why?
I'm not sure, but I think it's got me thinking about dwarves a lot, and I think Mantic dwarves are in a good place. Like they have a lot of different play styles now. You have, you're not just stuck with like the traditional. I think part of the stress or the angst that the dwarf player base has had in the past is that they've tried to like funnel, or squeeze the Warhammer dwarf mindset into Kings of War. But I think it's difficult for them to realize that the dwarves in Kings of War are much more varied, and there's a lot more going on, and there's a lot more you can do.
Sounds like there's more people ready to jump on too. A lot of people like they're ready to play dwarves.
But I think the big problem is like when you're playing like a combined arms or like a little bit of dwarves are a little bit more of a high skill cap. You need a bit more practice with them to get the most out of them. So they can be frustrating.
Like playing infantry dwarves used to be like, Kevin Von Felt, like the special snowflake.
Yeah.
But infantry dwarves are legit.
Absolutely.
Kyle Timberlake's been working on his master's list infantry dwarves, and it's no joke.
I haven't played in 3rd edition, but
Iron Guard and Shield Breakers, they're legit.
With lots of dogs and shooting, and it's like it can be. You just got to think about where do I need to be 5 turns from now, and do that now.
And the new formation in the Imperial Dwarves is legit. Like
that's what we need to do. We need to get Ronnie to go. We need maybe this will break Ronnie if he does. We can talk him into a Berserker army, right? And then he's like, "Oh, these metal models too many," and we can get him to make us a plastic kit. That's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
But a
dwarf berserker kit that you can make both Abyssal dwarf berserkers or regular dwarf berserkers. They give him.
Oh yeah, and for those that miss Lone Wolf, this is a real nice little comment, right? Because
congrats!
And
I think John Green is listening too. So congrats!
Yeah. Oh, congratulations!
Congrats
awesome.
Big win. That's I love that Abyssals list that John ran. It's so good.
Super good. Fun, super fun
awesome,
tournament,
guys. What else do we not cover? We
If as to coincide with the countercharge painting challenge, independently, the local guys here, we decided to do a slow grow league over the summer leading up to King Beyond the Wall in August. So we're gonna have our GT at the beginning of August. So we're gonna have a slow grow league up to May, June, July, and then we got a bunch of new players, so it's gonna be fun too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do us proud when you head over to the
That's Jack's dad.
yeah,
Jack's
the
dad,
former.
Jack's dad.
Show them what upstart Colonials. Yeah. Lone Wolf was interesting. No more Hold'em, Texas Hold'em scenario, but
I didn't miss
they
it.
introduced progressive scoring scenarios, which was interesting.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting to hear as that evens out. I think some of them probably, if you had a speed army, you were doing
it was
good.
Let's be honest, it was kind of bullcrap because I played Abyssal Dwarves in the Well, and then I played Empire of Dust in the Progressive Invade, and it was ridiculously one-sided. So it's Texas though. When you go down there, you know you're going to be in for some
wacky scenarios.
Stuff. Yeah. So
yeah.
But I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not really a big fan of the progressive stuff. Slight progressive, but like in that last scenario, I played Devlin, and I was up 51-12 or something like that before the game was over. Like,
okay, so the last scenario, Alex, it was invade, but starting on turn 3, you got 1 point per unit
per scoring unit.
Per scoring unit on your opponent's half, and then at the end of the game, you got 1 point per unit strength. So it was one of those you'd have a lot of scoring points.
Yeah.
But it means that if you had a fast army, you could be getting 10 points a turn, 10 points a turn, 10 points a turn. And by the end, even if your opponent gets 23 unit strength across the board, the score could still be 65 to whatever.
I feel
not
like
coming back from that.
Yeah, progressive scoring. I know if Riley's out there, he's like just cheering on the benefits of progressive scoring.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that this is something he actually likes? That he would be.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh, I don't know. The world's turning backwards. Superman's up in the space, flying backwards.
But I'm like, I would just say it's so hard to balance. I feel like it's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Lazy brings up a good point. It is hard to balance, and the fact is it unfairly punishes slow armies. Depending on the scenario, right?
Yeah, keep up the YouTube videos too, buddy. I've been watching a lot of your stuff. Thank you. I'm a content whore, so thank you for posting a lot of videos.
So Randy was on the end of that, right, at Lone Wolf with his slow ass dwarves.
Well, that's the thing. If the Kings of War, it's a game that like benefits wide array of play styles, right? So to have a scenario type that is like so wildly biased to fast armies.
Well, and that's loot in general too, right?
Yeah.
And the Well
scenario
is kind of
is also bad.
Yep.
For that.
It's one that it's really yeah.
Speaking of Randy Davis, we have some video from karaoke night.
I've heard some good stuff about that.
Oh man, that guy can just lay it down. So him and Grant blew my mind too, man. We got to get those videos posted from karaoke night. Yeah,
I'm enthusiastic
contributor.
No, I like to sit back and watch during karaoke.
So Alex, best of the rest this year or no?
Not this year. Like you're talking about flights, like flying from Canada to Seattle is like, I think it's like double what it is. If I can manage to like get down to an American airport, it'd be like half the price and still.
And I don't normally I would give you crap about it, but this year I can't do it.
Also, it's my sister's wedding that weekend, so I'm gonna be busy. Totally forgot about that. Sorry, Steph.
Wow, almost forgot his own sister's wedding. That's
the real question is, if we do a countercharge Crossroads team, can you finally just be like, peace out?
It depends if he wants to win or not.
Bros. Yeah.
Does he want to be a winner or not? That's
the A team is a Crossroads veteran team, so it's gonna be hard to leave those guys.
Do you guys win? Do you guys win a lot?
We did pretty well last time.
What did you win?
No, he didn't win.
So
Because remember,
second place
this
is just the
isn't
first loser.
your friendly
Ricky
neighborhood
Bobby.
Rob anymore. He's bringing the jank.
No, yeah,
So-
this is not Rob.
This
It's
is-
not like, hey, let's bring in Kingdoms of Men. Let's have a fun battle.
Yeah.
Janky
No.
Rob. Janky
So-
Rob is in full effect.
Uh-huh.
And Dustin took me behind the woodshed and taught me a few things. So
Oh,
I think the list is going to be even better.
a few
love that
secret
day
tips to
two.
Mr. Howard.
Yeah, day 2, Robert's playing Dustin, and I was like, "This is what you get, Rob. This is what you get for scoring battle points."
Yeah.
Going 3-0 in day 1 is only punished.
Oh no, I went 2-1. I got
Oh.
beat 14-6 by Brad in his Alpha Strike Green Knight list.
That
which
list,
was also
that
very
Green
good.
Lady list, so good.
Yeah,
Brad's
very
list
good.
was.
I will say the weakness in it is duration, right? It cannot hold up over time.
Yeah.
And so as long as you've
It
got the
peters
metal
out
and
eventually.
you've got a lot of
Yeah.
defense 6, you can kind of like hang in there. I mean,
Yeah.
I killed most of his army, but by the time the game is over, he had all the scenario points. So
Right.
well, awesome guys. Anything else we missed? I know we're running a little early, but is there anything else we wanted to chat before
Thanks.
we get out of here?
No, just thanks for watching, everyone. These are always
Yeah,
fun to do.
it's
It's
We
getting bigger and
appreciate
bigger every week, and obviously this is a Monday night. Let us know what you think.
it. Yeah.
We moved it because of Easter, but if
But if you like Mondays better, it might be something to get your week off.
get your
you
week
have your-
off.
Cure those
Get your week
cases of
off.
the Mondays. You
Yeah.
know.
Be on the lookout. We will have episodes coming. We promise there are in the
Yeah.
works. Some of us are editing.
They're in the
you know,
pipes.
they're coming. They're
Yeah,
good.
and then I'll take a look at that Adepticon stuff, and we can probably get that out ASAP too.
Yeah.
Mark said
Be
he
interested-
already edited it. So
What?
We'll see.
Okay.
I gotta check it. I gotta give it to Jeremy
You gotta
seal of
confirm.
approval and
You
make
gotta
sure there's
confirm.
no shenanigans happening. But
Shenanigans.
what Rob recorded a bunch, and then at Lone Wolf, and then Rob and I recorded a bunch at Lone Wolf. So we should have a bunch of great content for you guys.
Yeah, I got the Daniel King stuff already edited. It's really good. It's the other part. I'll just tell you guys. So this is your treat for coming to this tonight. About 40 minutes in, Drew Richardson, not to be confused with Dwayne Richardson, but Drew Richardson out of Oklahoma City, Brian Murderer's son. I said, "Hey, Drew," and that was him. That was his signal to come join us, Randy Davis style. And but the difference with Randy between him and them is that it was rough. Like he was drunk. Like, well, he was very intoxicated, and his man boobs were very like.
Oh yeah, I came in
distracting.
there and he was half shirtless at one.
Yeah,
point.
no, yeah. So it was rough. So just for you guys to know, I'm probably gonna cut the interview at the point he shows up because it goes off the rails for 20, 30 minutes. And I'm like, do I really want to sit here and edit all this, knowing that I probably can't air a lot of this content? He says a lot of mean stuff about the UK too, by the way. So I think to
Now-
try to rile up Dan, but it didn't work because
Did
Dan's
you say
unviable.
that's Brian Brodier's?
That's a
son?
joke.
Oh, okay.
Joke.
I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gonna say. I was like, really? I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, John want to know. Yeah, the guy likes to hug on you too. So and
He's very friendly. I
He's
met
very
him
friendly.
at Masters like 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
But it
Yeah.
was interesting. We had some of the big drinker types weren't there this year, so Lone Wolf had a really relaxed.
It was
Fun.
not crazy.
It was a really
Like
nice
I went to
vibe.
bed like at normal time. Like
Yeah.
both nights, I was 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I was
Mhm.
the party that would go till 2, 3 didn't happen. Now your wife though, she made a run for it.
Oh yeah.
Right?
She a Saturday night, her and Dan and Dan Kamek and
Mhm.
Lindsay Cox and Devlin were up super late. I go to bed because it's like I got to get ready to play in the morning. And the hotel room opens at 2, and I'm like, oh, she's finally coming back. But no, she was just coming back to get more beer, and then left again. So, but her and Dan Kamek won. Lone Wolf has like the you had fun party award. So she got a little bottle of Disaronno. Is that what it's called? Disaronno? But she's like, this is going on the trophy shelf. So it's on the trophy shelf now. So yeah.
So Bill and Bill's wife know this kid pretty well too. So he's quite the hugger.
And he started early. I mean, we were there playing games at like 4 o'clock.
He started in the car on the way to Lone Wolf.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you get
So,
there, you're already good.
Yeah. So shout out. We got a bunch of tournaments coming up. Hopefully, I'm going to make some. I'm looking for those that have asked. I am looking, but plane tickets are like, and even gas. It cost me. I don't know about you, Jeremy, but it cost me $180 to drive to Dallas, which
Oh yeah, I mean,
which was a lot more than normal, right? Like
travel
normally
in all
7-hour
its
drive,
forms.
like
Yeah.
15-hour round trip.
So
And
shout out to
luckily
the
I did
peop-
split it, but man, it was
Yeah.
still a kick in the balls.
So
You
shout
know?
out to the people who are committing to Masters. I know not only is it far this year, it's in Seattle, but it is travel wise going to be more
Mhm.
expensive. But I know it's going to be an amazing tournament. I know, like you said, Rob's got his tournament coming up. We got Bug Eater coming up. Portland's got a tournament coming up. So there's lots of stuff, really amazing stuff. I'm just bummed that it's like, it's like $100 less than flying to London for me to fly to Memphis.
Yeah, I think the
mean,
cost is gonna eventually. I think at the end of the year, we're gonna look back and see this was a year that there was some curtailing of some of the tournament travel just because the cost was prohibitive. And let's just keep pushing on. Let's get through this.
Yeah.
Get those gas prices down, man. Like
I think up in the Northeast we have the Unplugged is next week, I think, and then and then we have Orktown at the beginning of June. And I think Vanguard GT is coming up in a week or two in Virginia or Maryland.
Yeah, and Blue Sea Brawl is in May. We got Kings of Memphis here in June. July is obviously Masters. We got TNT.
Yeah.
Bison Brawl in August. So
it's like King Beyond the Wall is going to be August 6th, 7th, or 13th or 14th. We're going to have it at the game store here, so it'll be good.
Nice.
So tons of great events.
That's a great way to save some money too, right? I mean,
yeah. And I just want to make sure like they're fully involved in the community. We're going to do the slow grow league. Like coming out of the pandemic, we were still locked down in January here, so I really want to make sure that the community, like the real life community, is like growing with good momentum.
Awesome.
Another reason why our Mantic challenge is, I think it's goodly timed.
Yes, we're gonna have some people that can't make some tournaments because it's just too expensive.
So let's get on After Dark. So let's start painting armies.
I haven't been on After Dark in like 6 months.
It's been hopping every night.
Once June 1st hits.
Yeah.
Now there's some of you unsavory kind of guys are on there. I might jump off, but
there's a lot of Aussies lately, which is a little but
well, awesome guys. We're at time, so let's. Who wants to take us out? No one.
That'll do us for tonight. And remember, keep countercharging.
Did pretty good, Alex. We'll see everybody next week. Bye.